Hi guys, I thought I might do a video on how psychic ability works. There's quite a few misconceptions out there that we kind of know everything that's going to happen and we're tuned in all the time, and I see a few posts on local pages where people are asking for psychics or clairvoyants or mediums, and the comments that they get from people are ridiculous. People just don't know how this stuff works. They're like, oh, you don't need to phone them. They'll phone you. They'll know you're looking for a psychic. Well, that's not true. We're not tuned in 24/7. Imagine how exhausting that would be. Um, I pretty much switch off as soon as I've stopped working and switch back on when I'm about to work. Spirit will know when I'm ready to work when I start to meditate, or I'll, pull out a photo of someone or start working, and I'm switched on. But I'm not psychic 24/7. That's just crazy. Sometimes I do get stuff. I might be sitting there watching TV and stuff will pop into my head, or might feel my guide coming in and wonder what's going on. But most of the time, this is a lights on, lights off kind of thing. So you turn on when you're ready to work and you turn off when you're not working. So it's not, you don't know every single thing in the whole world that's happening to every single person. I mean, just think about that. That's just kind of crazy. So the information that we get, okay, so it's kind of stuff that we see. So I'm, clairvoyant, where I do see spirit, but I don't see a lot of spirit. When I see them now, I mostly see them like inside my head. So it's like a vision or a dream, and I might just get a quick glimpse of or a flash of a face or somebody, and I've got to try and remember everything about that, and it's only like a split second. If I do see spirit, they don't look like spirit to me. They just look like normal people. They're not see-through. They're not glowing around the edges or anything like that. And often I don't click that they are spirit until they sort of fade away or disappear in front of me. So, but mostly I see them inside my head, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's like a daydream, I guess. When you're sort of sitting there and you're just zoning out and your mind sort of wanders and you're not really focusing on anything. That's when they come in. When you're kind of in that meditative alpha zone is when you get most of your messages. Now, they don't all communicate in the same way, and it's not like I'm standing there talking to them. It's not like Ghost Whisperer. If you've ever seen the program Ghost Whisperer, I'm not actually standing there having a conversation with a person. I don't know if that works for some people, but it's not most people. It's not their experience. You get you'll get feelings. Like I'm an empath, so I might feel emotions. I might feel pain in certain places. I might be able to tell how someone's passed because they might give me chest pain, or they might give me pain in my head or kidneys or something like that. So I might think, okay, they've passed from head trauma or a stroke, or if I feel numb down one side of my body, obviously they've had a stroke. But it's not always that cut and dry. You've got to you're like the messenger or the conduit. So the information comes from spirit, and you've got to try and interpret that information. So you might not always get it completely right. It's like second-hand information, I guess. So you're trying to interpret what they're sending you. But the person sitting in front of you might understand what you're trying to say and say, oh, I get what that is. So you have to tell them pretty much exactly how you get it. Don't try and change it around or interpret it yourself. You just give them exactly how it comes through. So I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient. I just sort of know things. Like you just might have a thought that pops into your head, and you've got to try and distinguish whether it's your thought or spirit's thought, because they're the same. They don't sound any different. It's just like your thought. You might hear something, you might smell something, somebody's name might pop into your head, or an initial, or just a word. and it doesn't always make sense, but you sort of have to write it down or convey it to the client because it might make sense to them. Yeah, things like that. I do a lot of tarot, mostly work with tarot, and I don't do it in a traditional way. I do it my own way because it kind of works for me. And I also do a little bit of palmistry, and I can pick up a little bit from that. I can pick up a lot from the tarot because tarot kind of connects me to spirit. So I do mediumship, but I don't do that as my main focus. But as I'm reading tarot, stuff from spirit will pop into my head and I'll kind of bring that through. Or when I'm meditating, stuff comes through. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to explain it a little bit. So it's kind of like, I don't know if you've ever played charades, but it's like you're getting hints and clues and you've got to try and figure out what they mean. And sometimes, you know, there's symbols, like a lot of psychics will have symbols. Like I don't know if you've ever watched John Edward, when he's working, he gets a lot of symbols in his head. And they will, you know, or they'll use like people that you know, like say your brother was James and he died, and this person sitting in front of you has got a James in their family that's passed. They might put your brother's picture in your head, so you know the name James, or you might just hear the name, or you might see your dog that passed, you know, and it resonates with them. So they use what they know, and not every spirit is as good as communicating as the other. So you'll get some stuff that flows really easily and other stuff that's not so easy. And you can see it with even all the famous mediums that are out there. It doesn't always flow that easily, and people don't always understand what they're trying to tell them. But all you can do is try and convey what comes through as honestly and as clearly as you can. Sometimes the visions I get are as clear as day. It's like, you know, it's happening right there and then, and it's really easy. But a lot of the times when I see things, it's almost shadowy, black and white, so I don't see people's faces. I'll see a shape. I might get a quick flash of a face, and I've got to try and remember all the features. I might see a outline of a dog or an outline of a cat, but not see the features or what colour they are and things like that. So it's not perfect, and you know, we don't say that your loved one's standing behind you talking to us. I don't say that at all, and that I wish that happened because that would be a lot easier. But yeah, so I just thought I'd explain it a little bit. So it's what we hear, feel, sense, and what information comes through that we've got to kind of interpret for you. So we try and do the best we can, but it's not always perfect. And we're not tuning into you 24/7. We're not reading your mind. So friends, that's kind of act a little bit funny around you. We're not reading your mind. We're not digging in to see what you've been up to. I don't believe in reading people without their permission either. And I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to end this video. But nice to talk to you. I haven't been on here for a while, and I'll try and post a little bit more often. Bye guys.